Tell me what you do on a Sunday. I'm tired of all these Friday nights, and if we're through, I'll go my way. I'd like it if you stay Hawaii. Oh, just up in these sheets, the city.
I hope I'm focused. But before we go on to the video, only a small percentage of people who watch my videos are actually subscribed. So if you're not, no, I'm just kidding. I just really wanted to do that. Anyways, first and probably one of the most important steps in doing my makeup, I'm prepping my skin using a setting mist since I already did my skincare earlier. Then I'm using the same setting spray to wet my brow soap and give my brows some dimension and letting it rest for a bit. I'm gonna be spot concealing using a concealer that's about the right shade or the exact shade of my skin tone. After doing that, I like to let it rest for a bit and kind of oxidize because I find that the coverage is much better, especially when you're spot concealing. Then I'm gonna be priming my eyelids using the foundation I'm gonna be using for the makeup today. Moving on to eyeshadow, for the crease, I'm gonna be using an orangey shade from a Squad-led eyeshadow palette. I really like these palettes, by the way. I highly recommend them and they're super cheap too. So since today I'm gonna be doing a sunset-ish makeup look, we're definitely gonna be doing some orange hues. Now I'm just gonna be chatting with you guys since it's my first YouTube video. This is so awkward. I mean, nobody even told me how humiliating editing is. Like right now, I look like that one wrestler from WWE. I'm gonna insert his picture here somewhere, but oh my gosh, nobody even told me how ugly. Anyways, I'm using the thinner brush to put the same shade under my eyes in the triangle zone because I find that this opens up my eyes a bit more while not making it too open, if you know what I mean. Okay, I'm not gonna name this palette because this is actually pretty poisonous, or there was some controversy about it having asbestos, and well, it was really cheap, so there was a risk, but I'm still using it because I'm too broke and I do not have any other palettes. But don't use it. I already bought this as well before the controversy, so you live and you learn. By the way, I'm using a denser brush and picking up a darker shade of orange to put on the inner and outer corners of my eye to create some dimension. Now using a shimmer shade of the Squad-led palette, I love this. Like, I used my pinky because I find that shimmer shades adapt better when you use your finger to put it on. Anyways, this is so pretty. Finally, I'm gonna blend everything together using the same crease shade on my crease. For eyeliner, I'm going for a smudgy natural look by tight lining the outer edge of my eye, top and bottom. As you can see, I dragged out the wing of the top eyeliner a little, very little, and as for the bottom, I'm making sure that I'm not connecting the bottom with the top, because what it's gonna do is it's gonna close up my eye and it makes it look smaller, and I definitely don't want that. I also observed that in Korean beauty, they tend to drag out the triangle zone outline, if that makes sense. Now I'm gonna be using white eyeliner on the waterline of my bottom lash line to open up my eyes even more. This then creates a kind of doe eye or a cutie eye look that is actually pretty popular with Japanese kawaii makeup. Now I'm gonna spray my face with facial mist in order to wet the now very dry concealer to make it more blendable.
Foggy glasses, all this emotion. Tried to tell her, but she probably didn't notice. She say she ain't got nobody. I said, baby girl, you're wrong. She say she ain't got no purpose. I say, what you on?
I know this foundation shade is way too light for me, but I bought it ages ago and it's about to expire anyways, and it's my only cushion foundation that is a bit glowy. And I actually used to hate this foundation because it used to be cakey for some reason and it wasn't as oil controlling as it claimed to be. But when I started taking care of my skin more properly and giving more importance to like actually having a hydrated canvas and prepping more, I found out that it actually works fine. I was just being careless in prep. So that's why you should always prep your skin, people. The cushion is actually my favorite type of applicator for concealer and foundation because it doesn't absorb much of the product, so you're not wasting any, but it blends like a dream. I recommend y'all should try it too.
I'll take you to that place with the blueberry patch. I pack your J, roll it fast. Blow your worries away. Shout it was a brick wall. Over, under, through her, none of that at all.
Okay, hi, sorry. Stopped. For contour, I'm using a shade that's actually pretty similar to my true skin tone, but since my foundation is light, it acts like a contour anyways. And in K-Beauty, I observed that their contour is pretty soft and not very much intense, and they like their cool toned contour, so there's not much bronzing and orange shades. I'm just gonna apply this contour on the sides of my face and not applying any on my cheekbones because I like to minimize my face and make it longer and more diamond, if that makes sense. Now I'm carving out my aegyosal or under eye fat, as that's the trend in K-beauty, and I just can't not do it, and I actually think this is really cute. I will be using the same shimmery shade we used on our eyelids to highlight the aegyosal using a smaller brush. For eyebrows, I'm gonna be using a brown pencil and using a very light hand to create a more diffused and soft look. And I'll be drawing them in a straightish shape. And fun fact, I used to hate the shape of my brows. I used to love that Instagram arched brow, but then I began to embrace it lately. I actually really like the shape of my brows. Thanks to K-beauty. To clean up my brows, I'm gonna be using my foundation and a smaller, more precise brush so that it won't create such a contrast and it will just blend together well. Okay, hold on. I look weird. Why do I make these weird faces when doing my lashes? I mean, does anybody relate? Like, editing this is torture. Help!
Foggy glasses, all this emotion. Tried to tell her, but she probably didn't notice. She say she ain't got nobody. I said, baby girl, you're wrong. She say she ain't got no purpose. I say, what you on? Girl, you're wrong. What you on? Girl, you're wrong. What you on? Shawty was a brick wall. Over, under, through her, none of that at all. She needs to be want you. Come on, just tell her to take your time. Yeah, take your time. Oh, take your time. Hey, take your time. Take your time, baby, day by day. I'll rub your spine, cause you got the weight of the world on your shoulders. And I say, it gets better, girl, I swear I say. I'll take you to that place with a blueberry patch. I'll pack your J, roll it fast. Blow your worries away. I say, I'll take you to that place with the blueberry patch. I'll pack your J, roll it fast. Blow your worries away. Shout it was a brick wall. Over, under, through her, none of that at all. She needs to be knocked down and rebuilt again. Oh, maybe next fall she'll fall for somebody new. Maybe in June.
Now we can stop looking like a corpse. I'll be using a yellow eyeshadow from the Forbidden palette earlier. You can just use any yellow shade. And I will be putting this on the apples or centers of my cheek. If you're afraid of the pigment or if you look like you have like an illness, but yeah, this is gonna be better later when we create the ombre effect, and you can just go over it with powder or a sponge to minimize the pigment.
None of that at all. You need to be knocked down and rebuilt again. Just take your time. Hey, just take your time. Hey, just take your time. Hey, just take your time.
Use a pinker or warmer shade at the edges of your cheeks in order to blend the yellow and the pink together. It really goes well together to create a sunset vibe that we want from this look. For the lips, we're going to be creating the famous K-Beauty Gradient Juicy Lip. And as a base, I'm going to be using an orange velvet lip tint, which is blotted out. And I'm going to blend out the edges using a Q-tip to soften the look. For the inner part of our gradient, I'm going to be using a redder orangey shade to create an ombre effect.
Who do I call if it ain't you? Tell me who to call if it ain't you. I've been pacing circles in my bedroom. I've been chasing secrets in your heirloom. Let me do what I do best. Slow down, let me talk to you. Don't tell me about your worries, I ain't staying